A very good question was posed to me recently, and that question was, Aries, what do you think will happen to the CSGO skin economy as soon as the game releases in China? The reason this question is so significant, as it is with introducing any new populace of people into a market for an item, is that it is going to increase the number of people that are in demand of items as opposed to the supply, which may stagnate or increase at a much slower rate than the rate of the demand. It's simple macroeconomics, the whole principle of supply and demand. The more in demand something is and the less there are of it, the more the value of the item will increase. So it might sound to most people like I've already wrapped up this video, that the prices are going to go up because the supply is going to decrease as the demand increases, right? Well, it's not that simple, and I'm going to delve into the different ways that the game being released in China could affect the CSGO economy, and what your best bet is for dealing with this new change that will be coming very soon. Now, aside from Counter-Strike, the only other games that there's really a major trading base for would be Rocket League, Dota 2, and Team Fortress 2. Now, if you follow any of those games or their economies, then you would know that when the port for Dota 2 released in China, the game's economy completely crashed. It was just like the stock market during the Great Depression all over again, but in Dota. To this day, I still can't think of a set reason or explanation as to why the game coming out in China completely made it collapse. With that said, I'm not an economist, so maybe there is an answer out there and I just don't know about it, but it very much goes against the whole concept of supply and demand. So that's why this game releasing in China will have a big impact on the trading economy internationally for the countries that already have this game. So now the question is going to become, is the same thing that happened with the Dota 2 economy going to happen to the Counter-Strike Global Offensive trading community? Is the market going to suddenly spike down and completely collapse, or is the exact opposite, which would follow the trend of supply and demand, where we have an increase in the value of all of our items? Now, there's two major variables to think about when we're trying to decide if we believe the market is going to crash when this game ports in China. The first of those would be, does the Chinese port of Counter-Strike have its own separate hub for trading? Is it going to be an interlocked trading market, or is it going to be a completely separate market exclusive to China? Now, in case you don't know, some laws in China have more strict rules as to what can be portrayed in the media and the video games in their country, which is why you've probably heard all of these different things about the different Chinese version of some of the skins. For example, the Desolate Space M4 isn't going to have that astronaut skull face, it's just going to be a goldened over space mask. And that's because one of the things outlawed in the Chinese media law is that you cannot have skulls or human remain-esque bone features, for lack of a better term, displayed in your games or movies. So now one of two things could happen. Either we keep the same trading market and community that we have for trading in the Americas, in Europe, and in Australia and New Zealand, and when the Chinese version of the game comes out, that will just interlock with our system, and when they receive the skins in a trade or unbox them, they will just appear different on their version of the game. Or option number two is they could have a completely separate market and community for trading, and then in turn we'll have zero to worry about when it comes to will our economy crash. Now, we still haven't heard anything at the time of me making this video from Valve or any companies involved with the port of this new Counter-Strike as to what the community system is going to be for trading. Now, the second variable that I was mentioning earlier is if the market is shared with the Chinese port and it is connected to our current system, will the demand for skins lead to unboxings from China, and rather than the demand increase and the supply decrease, the demand increases, but so does the supply, and either A, it will level out and there will be no change to the market, or B, will there be more of the rare skins, i.e. Souvenir Dragon Lore, Souvenir Knights, Souvenir Masterpieces, Fire Serpents, things of that nature, the higher tier rare skins in different cases, will more of those be unboxed and then in turn their value go down because there are more in circulation? So how do all of these different variables and all that we've learned today pertain to us, the individual, as a trader or skin collector? Well, all I can tell you is if you want to play it safe, if you want to guarantee your value, I would sell your items for keys before the port comes out, so that way you can have a guaranteed set amount of currencies. That way, if it crashes, if anything, you'll be able to buy things cheaper and have an increase in your inventory. Now, if you're a gambler or someone who's a high risk, high reward kind of individual, you could wait and ride it out and see what happens. So I guess the moral of what I'm trying to say is I can't tell you whether you should or shouldn't trade for keys. All I can tell you is if you want to play it safe, do it. If you want to run the risk, don't do it. It's entirely up to you. I can't make your life choices for you and tell you what it is that you value. With that said, you guys, I also have some big news to share. I was recently invited to join the Sabotage Esports team. Now, if you don't know who Sabotage Esports are, they're an amateur professional gaming organization that competes in smaller tier lands along the East Coast, primarily games like Halo, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. If you guys out there would like to support the team, go ahead and check them out on Twitter at SBT Esports and keep up to date on all of the team's newest information. And if you're interested in playing competitive Counter-Strike for the team, we are looking for additional members to play, so feel free to contact us on Twitter or contact me personally at my business email, which is aries1080p@gmail.com. With all that said, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like the video or comment on the video and tell me how you think I did today. Or if you're interested in seeing content similar to what you've seen today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. With that said, thank you for watching, you guys. Good luck trading. Have a nice one.